So the deepest integrity in the intimate relationship as well as everywhere else. But it is to listen, to respond with, I could say, a clarity to the situation. I could say a depth of love, which continuously and in every second wraps up whatever is going on to bring home to oneself what is here, and to be willing to meet the other where he or she is. And when I say meet the other, I don't mean disappear into, and I don't mean being mixed up in each other, but I also don't mean making a separation which closes the connection. So there is an actual invitation for us as consciousness to become so inside quiet that we can stay with an openness of heart in a way which doesn't mix up and doesn't separate. So it's right there, that silent point in the middle where we both are individuals and one being, where the belly in its recognition and realization of us being individual human beings, where that is not separated from the heart's reality of us being one. And for us to be able to actually move with this, we need to have the head along also, which needs to be sufficiently empty for us to be able to hold ourselves in the silence, where we can tell what from what. Yeah. So in that sense, it's almost like the expanse of mind, which can be attained during meditation, during dropping into silence, that can be brought in as benefit to the relationship through a deep dropping in and down, because the stronger we are as that silence, the stronger we have recognized and realized ourselves as that silence. Or in some cases, the less we fight that silence. It kind of depends on where we're at. But the deeper that silence can drop in and down, the more we're able to hear what's going on in a way as to respond in honesty. To respond in the honesty and the integrity of what is actually going on. So what does that invite? That invites, of course, two things. It invites complete honesty with ourselves. And inside of that, like this sweet little twist I want to bring into the equation, which is confession. Because what we usually do from the place of our self-protection is that we defend what's going on. You see, something is going on in the depths. And if we're not moving with the deepest commitment, then that twist that happens on top of the wounding, it becomes an identity. And this identity, its only goal is to defend itself. And if it is defending itself, there can be no intimacy, there can be no honesty, and there can be no confession. So a great way to move into an even deeper intimacy together is to dare to have the nuts and the guts, in a way, to break this pattern of self-defense. And that actually means to be willing to admit when we're like completely fucked up, to be willing to admit when we are, okay, actually right now I'm noisy. Like right now there's noise in my system, and that noise, that is always an objection to something. You see, if there is a willingness to be in that field of confession together, I'm not talking about like sitting with a hand on the Bible or anything. I'm just talking about the willingness to be vulnerable enough to be honest about our human state. Because as outset, we have this idea that It's not okay that we're broken. And yet we are all fucking broken. You see, and we're all defending against showing that brokenness. So what needs to happen is, we can actually enter into a place of being where, and it's not a place, it's right here, but it's like enter a state of willingness, I would say, to be exposed. Of course, it requires a deep field of trust and a willingness to intimacy. I mean, it doesn't work that one is willing to be intimate and honest and the other is deeply hiding. But if we're saying yes to each other and we're like taking each other's hands like this, we need to do it from that commitment to truth. And we need to both do it from that commitment to truth, because it's the only way we can grow together. And if we're not growing together, we're growing apart. That's the reality of it, simply. So this little confession tip, that was another key, actually. And the key of it is that we are so used to, in our consciousness, defending, that what we can do is that we can agree that, okay, actually we're going to turn this around, and we're going to turn it around by opening that door of confession, like opening actually the door of cooperation on what's going on. Because if one is broken, it's not like, okay, that's your problem, like just kind of like that. And it doesn't mean either that the other should like come towards us from that place of like wanting the other to take responsibility for us. So it's a dance like that, yeah? It's a dance of being willing to meet ourselves, but without separating ourselves from the other. As well as it's a dance to be willing to be love with and for each other.